Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, welcome. This is the Life as Westwood channel. I'm Wes, if you didn't already know that. So nice to meet you. I hope you find this video a little bit informative. It's gonna be about money. The number one question about retiring in the Philippines or just moving to the Philippines in general is money. How much do you need each month? How do you get your money each month? And all of those type of questions get asked on every single video that I upload, in most conversations that I have with people. How much does it cost to be here, to stay here, and to function on your, how can I word it, on your normal lifestyle? How much do you need? So obviously this is different for absolutely everybody, but I'm going to try to go through maybe a slightly different approach to how you may have watched it in other videos. So stick with us and hopefully I can help you out a little bit. If you see me looking past the camera, it's because my laptop is behind and I have made various notes to make this video run a little bit smoothly for you, and so you don't get bored to tears and I'm just left fumbling anyway, trying to find my words. But yeah, anyway, let's crack on in with it. So as I mentioned, how much do you need to live in the Philippines? It's different for everyone, okay? You'll see YouTubers saying you need $600 US a month, which is like £400 or something UK. And then other people on the other spectrum will say you need $4,000 a month to survive here in the Philippines. And I tell you that, I don't have $4,000 and I'm surviving here just fine. So, and I've got a wife and a kid and a house and everything. So yeah, you don't need $4,000. Maybe if you're going out clubbing and you're doing lots of other things as well. But yeah, anyway, let's get into it and let's see what I've written down, and hopefully it helps out. So it obviously depends, the budget depends completely on your living needs, what you want in life, the quality of living basically, your habits, your living habits. So also, do you have very particular food diet needs or requirements? If you come here, you try to live the Western lifestyle with food in particular, it's going to get very expensive for you, okay? So just some things, just for example, I love a Cadbury's milk chocolate bar. In the UK you can get it for like 90p or £1 for a pretty decent sized chocolate bar. Here you're looking almost £4. So yeah, I'm not eating that kind of chocolate anymore. I've converted over to the Filipino delicacy as well, the food, the cheap chocolates. So yeah, just switch things up a bit. But if you are really intending on living the Western way of eating and such, so it's going to get pretty expensive for you, I've got to admit. So anyway, it also depends on where you are located. So are you in the province? Are you in the city? Are you in a popular tourist beachfront location? It does completely depend. Are you up in the mountains, quite isolated from places, so you have limited options? Each one of these factors, depending on where you are, will really influence the price on how much you have to spend and how much you need each month. So bear that in mind when you're choosing to come here. Your lifestyle as well. So what are you going to be doing? Will you be traveling? Will you have lots of hobbies? Will you be island hopping, for example? Taking part in lots of excursions? How will you get about? How will you transport from different locations? Do you have a bike? Will you hire bikes? Will you hire a car? Will you own a car? Will you take public transport? Will you fly from location north to south to whatever? How will you get around? And all of those prices as well, again, will influence the cost of you being here. Depends on what you need. Me personally, I own a bike. I paid it monthly over time. I didn't have the cash at the time to purchase it outright, although it's quite cheap. It's about 70,000 pesos if you want an RS 125 Honda. It's about £1,000, 70,000 pesos. Yeah, I didn't have it at the time, so I paid monthly for a couple of years, but yeah, there we go. That's another story. I'll go into that in another video. So yeah, those factors, so location, whether you have certain luxuries, where you'll be located, what kind of transport you'll be using, they're big factors, okay? Hobbies, traveling, do you have dependents? Will you be bringing a kid here? Do you have children? Do you have 1, 2, 3? Obviously you know already then, if you do, that is a big cost involved. Just nappies and milk, for example. Our little boy is on a milk here called S26, and for it works out about 10 days, 10 to 12 days worth of milk is like, it's about 40 quid or something, so it's like 2,800 pesos every like 10 to 12 days, and that's just the milk. Then you've got the nappies, the toys, and everything else, guys. So yeah. Do you have a partner? Do you have a wife? Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have companionship? What you do? Is that extra costs that you have involved? Bear that in mind, because as my dad likes to say, if you're single, everything's half price. So yeah, bear that in mind. Your costs may double if you have an additional person with you. If you have kids as well, then yeah, bear that in mind, guys. Do you have pets? Will you have pets? Dogs, especially if you have cats or dogs, you're going to obviously need insurances, I guess, or at least stash some money by for bad times. The cost for food, especially. I think we've got two puppies. We spend about, I don't know exactly on this one. It's about 1,000 to 1,200 pesos every, I'd like to say, but up to 2 weeks. Yeah, that could be a little bit off, but that's about right, I reckon. So bear that in mind as well. That's just for biscuits. That's not for any types of meat or anything special included in their diet. It's just Kimball biscuits, okay? Yeah, what else we got on there? So if you do have a partner, are you supporting your partner's family in any way? Whether that's small or large monthly payments, bear that in mind. That'll increase your costs obviously each month. Depending on where you live as well, maybe if you're in a condo or something like that, you might have everything included, but do you require at your location a maid? Is cleaning just not in your time that you want to be spending here? Do you need a gardener? Do you need anything else? Anything that you can think of? Do you need a driver? Whatever, how luxurious your life is, do you need these people to pay each month of you being here? That's obviously additional costs, although they are relatively well priced here, affordable to be paying. Just for example, a maid here in the province of North Cotabato will cost you about 4,000 to 6,000 pesos per month. So that's about 70 to 80 to almost 90 pounds per month, Great British pounds. So yeah, it is affordable. That is a decent wage. That's not undercutting people. That's the going rate. So bear that in mind. Obviously, all influences your price per month, your budget. Also, if you are if you have not very good luck in life and you have certain health issues, or if you've got a little bit older and the doctor says you need this tablet, that tablet, like my mum, for example, she rattles. The doctors just give her tons and tons and tons of tablets. So if you are a person that's in that kind of situation, you need to think about the costs, because there's no NHS here like the UK. You don't get your pills and everything included. You do need to bear that in mind, because that could be quite expensive. Although you can literally buy single packeted medication here. You can buy one paracetamol if you want to. I don't know why you would want to, but yeah, you could just buy one singular. It is quite relatively cheap for those kind of items, but I guess if you've got very particular needs with medicines, then bear that in mind. It could be quite hard to get, or it could be quite expensive. So yeah, bear that in mind. Do some research beforehand. Try and find out some costs if you can. There are groups and stuff that you can search on. I don't recommend going in expat groups, so we'll bear that in mind. I'll touch on that topic on another video. Expat groups and stuff on Facebook, yeah, I don't go there. Anyway, right, what else is on my list? So medicines, healthcare, we've done that one. How frequently do you need to return back to your home country? Do you have family there that you need to visit? How frequently? Is it once a year, twice a year, once every couple of years? Bear that in mind, obviously, the cost for the flights and your stay while you're there. You're going to need to budget for that as well and get saving while you're here. So hopefully you can afford to make that allowance in your budget. And also this one for me in particular, because I've got business in the UK, I've got companies in the UK, I've got bills and pre-existing pre-existing direct debits and subscriptions each month that need to go out. So I obviously need to make sure that those costs are in my accounts, not including anything that's here in the Philippines. I need to make sure that those amounts of money that are already in my account before I even think about any costs that are incurred while I'm here. So yeah, bear that in mind. Right, so with all of that in mind, you need to start thinking in your head, right, what of these things in that list apply to me? Okay, I'm not going to spit out random numbers of $600 or $4,000 or anything like that, because it's just not applicable, guys. It scares people off as well. So if you are thinking of moving out here, don't let all these numbers from these other YouTubers put you off. You can do things, you just maybe need to make some slight adjustments, or yeah, just think about your lifestyle in particular and what you really need and how you want to live. Okay, so what else have I got on my trusty list? Yeah, YouTubers are saying this. Yes, okay, I've touched that. My dad, my old man, he's actually looking to come out here and join us. He will be stationing up in our back garden. We're gonna build him a building. That's quite hard to say. Build him a building. He's paying though. I'm not paying. Look at that. We're gonna get him set up in the back portion of the land out here, and he's worried. He said, "Is my pension going to be enough?" Because he's just hit pension age, bless him. So he's worried, is my pension going to be enough? I'm not going to talk about his financials, obviously he wouldn't want me to, but he's worried, oh, can I get this? Is that enough? Is that enough? And I'm there like, yes, that is plenty. That is plenty, honestly. Just to put it into perspective, a professional in this country, well, in particular the region that we're kind of living in, a teacher of a lower tier, so a new entry teacher, is on approximately 20 to 25,000 pesos per month. I'll let you guys all do your conversions into whatever currency you're on. The highest kind of tier, I'm guessing, would be kind of headmaster level or senior within the teaching field, is on about 60,000 pesos per month. So in Great British pounds, that is about £800 per month, £850 per month. So if you can think about how much pension you're going to be able to claim when you come out here, put that into perspective, because obviously those teachers are doing quite well for themselves out here and they're surviving just fine. So apply that to whatever money you're going to be earning, and I'm sure you'll do just fine. Right, what else have we got? Yeah, obviously my old man will be living on his own. He doesn't have any dependents apart from me. He can buy me some beers or something. He can take us out for lunch. So anyway, I'm sure he'll be spoiling our little boy Joshua as well. So he does have some extra little costs involved with being here, but other than that, he's a single bachelor. He's going to be living on his own, so his pension is going to seem massive here. In relation to everyday's kind of earning salary, so he can live quite comfortably, just relaxing basically, so he doesn't have to worry. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are all in the same boat as well. Right, how will you earn while you're here? Do you just have a pension? Do you have other income streams? Do you have a job abroad? Are you younger like me? Do you have your own business? Do you work for, I don't know. What's your options? What is your income options? Because in most cases you can't work here, you can't be an employee here. Now there are ways around that, and obviously if you're married to a Filipina or a Filipino, if you're the other way around. If you're a female with a Filipino guy, I believe that you can work here if you're married, obviously. But yeah, so bear that in mind. Obviously, the income, if you had a job here, would be significantly less than if you had an income generated from your home country, more than likely if it's a Western country. So bear that in mind. Let us know what your income streams will be. If it's just pension, fair enough, just pension, that's good enough in most cases. But there are options to work online, and I will be touching on those in another video also. So if you need some advice, subscribe now. Right, what else have we got on this list? Sorry if it's dragging on a bit, but I've got quite a bit to get through. So you need a constant income really while you're here, however that may be. Make sure it's consistent. Every single month you know what you're getting. Okay. Another option, I guess, would be, obviously, I've just missed on that one, but if you don't have an income stream, but you've got a massive pot full of money which is going to last you until you die, then that's another option. I guess I certainly don't have that option. I don't have a penny to my name in savings, but there we go. So right, another option that would significantly decrease the costs of you being here each month would be if you're self-sufficient. So do you collect your own water and filter it and everything else to make it so you're self-sufficient on the waterfront? Do you have solar power for your electricity? Will you have a farmstead? Will you be growing your own vegetables? Do you have animals and livestock and everything else that you can get food and, or, maybe even sell the livestock or sell the meat? So that's another way that you can obviously use to reduce your costs each month. So that's a good one to think about. If your land's big enough, if you're living in a decent place, that you can afford to do those things and you're capable of doing those things without impacting any neighbours, and do it. We can't do that here just yet. We could probably have a little patch of some vegetables, but I'm not going to prioritise that. It's not quite big enough, not with the plans with obviously getting my dad here as well and building out the back. So that kind of kills all of the extra set of lands that we could use for that thing, but it wouldn't impact us financially too much anyway, because we'd still have to go to the market for meat and everything else. So yeah. Right, so with all of that in mind, have a think. What can you do with your budget? How much can you spend? What lifestyle changes can you make? So now what I want to do is I want to go over some costs with some items here where we live. So we live here in the province, that's a big factor there, the province of North Cotabato. It's a big area. I won't give away my exact location obviously, but you probably picked up on that on a few of the previous videos. But just to put it into perspective, some rental locations here, they could be like single bedroom apartments, like we just stayed at. You could spend 2,000, well, as low as 2,000 pesos per month to stay in those. So that in Great British pounds is less than £30 a month. Now that will get you very, very basic accommodation. You could increase that just marginally. So if you tripled that, so if you spent still less than £100 per month, if you went for about 6,000 pesos per month, you could look at like a 2-bedroom house. Okay, so it makes quite a big difference. You'd have quite a decent plot. You wouldn't have to share the same location with some other boarders or anything like that. Now, before we purchased this house here, we were actually looking to rent a location which had 4 bedrooms. Now, this place was huge, right? It had 4 bedrooms. It was 2 floors. It was like it was like a castle, right? In relation to this house, it looked like 4 times the size of this house. It had a pool, it had a big garden plot, it had multi-garage, all sorts, right? And that was 15,000 pesos. So that's £200 in Great British pounds. That's very, very cheap in comparison to UK prices. But over here, 15,000 pesos, not many people are going to rent around here for 15,000 pesos. That's a lot of money. When I previously mentioned about the teachers earning 20 to 25,000 a month, they're not going to spend 15,000 of that on rent. Okay, so bear that in mind, because These people that have got that location out for rent, it hasn't been rented for a long time. Okay, they've had a couple of years at least where they haven't rented it out because nobody can afford that really. They don't want to. So what they actually do for that house now is they rent it out as a function building for people that want parties or group gatherings and stuff like that. So that's how they recoup some of their lost money. Yeah, just a brief explanation so you can kind of judge how much rent is in this location here. Now, I'm not going to go into groceries. I'll try and do grocery shopping and markets and stuff like that in another video so you can have a whip round and you can see how much a cucumber is and how much an eggplant is and how much a tomato is and all that rubbish. Okay, I'll do that in other videos, and how much meat is per kilo and whatever. We could spend ages on this video doing that, but what I will say is you could literally have breakfast, lunch, dinner and all your drinks and snacks throughout the whole day for about 1,500 pesos here in the province. 1,500 pesos per person, one person, you. So you could eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, drinks all day, 1,500 pesos. Okay, you wouldn't need anything else. Not unless you're quite a large person that maybe eats quite a bit more than the average person. That is enough to keep you going, 1,500 pesos. That is 20 pounds per day. I don't think you can really buy dinner for, much cheaper than that now in the UK, just dinner. But you could literally do that 7 days a week. You wouldn't have to buy any groceries, you wouldn't have to do any washing up, you wouldn't have to sort any gas out, any electric for your cooking, you wouldn't have to do anything. You wouldn't even have to buy a plate or cutlery in your own house. You could just eat out every single day. In lots of different places. And I'm not talking about Caranderia, the cheaper places to eat for like 90 pesos for a meal. I'm talking you could sit in proper restaurants and have a meal for that. Okay, so definitely worth considering for getting around the hassle of cooking and cleaning up after yourself. Right, what else we got on our list to put it into perspective? So if you've got the aircon pumping in your house, a house of this size, a 3-bedroom one, all day, you're probably looking at about 4,000 to 5,000 pesos per month. If you have a 1-bedroom apartment, you leave that aircon on all day, every day, all night, all month, then you're probably looking at about 2,000 pesos. If you're kind of limiting yourself on the aircon and you may be using a fan every now and then, you could probably limit that to 1,000 pesos for the whole month. Okay, and that's with stuff like a refrigerator, your Wi-Fi ticking and your phone's on charge and stuff like that all month, so bear that in mind as well. Water, I'm just going to discard water. Water's like £4 a month or something, it's like 300 pesos. Unless you have a swimming pool or you absolutely rinse something here, it's about £4 to £5 per month. Distilled water, you've probably seen it in another one of my videos, the big 25-litre bottles of distilled water. It works out about 1 peso per litre. 1 peso per litre, so 25 pesos for one of those bottles. Okay, you have to buy the first bottle, which is like 180 pesos. And that comes with the 25 litres of water the first time. And then what you do then, when you use it, you switch out the bottle, they give you a new one, but then it only costs you 25 pesos for the water refill. So that's good, nice and cheap. So yeah, that's all your drinking water. You can shower with that if you want to, do what you want with it. It's cheap, so yeah, good stuff. To buy a brand new 125 Honda RS costs 70,000 pesos. There you go, that's cash price, that's not on tick, that's not on your pay monthlies over a couple of years, that's cash price in one payment. To fill up in fuel with special fuel, special petrol or whatever you want to call it, they call it special here, I don't know what the hell that is. In the UK it's unleaded or diesel, but here they have unleaded, diesel and special. Don't know what that is. Makes me feel special because I don't know what it is, but yeah, it only takes 2 litres to fill up the 125 and it is 50 pesos, approximately 50 to 53, something like that, pesos per litre. cheap, 70p per litre. So for £1.40 I can fill up that little motorbike out the front there and have a razz around for a good few hours. It gets us to and from the city multiple times on a full tank, gets us around the town multiple times on that same full tank. So yeah, it's definitely worth £1.40 for 2 litres. So there, yeah, that's the price on that one. A gym membership. I know I haven't, it doesn't look like I've hit the gym in multiple lifetimes, but I did used to do the gym when I was here. I haven't done it since I've been back here, but it costs 1,000 pesos for the whole month. The whole month in the gym. You can go from 10 AM to 10 PM every single day, 7 days a week. 1,000 pesos per month, so that's like £13 or something like that. If you want a personal trainer with that, I'm talking about here, guys. I'm not talking about in cities or anywhere else. I'm talking about my experiences here. So relate it in however you want to. But for 1,000 pesos, that's the gym. For 800 pesos additional, so for 1,800, you can get the full gym for the full month with a personal trainer. And this guy will literally spend your entire gym session with you. Okay, so I've been to the gym for 3 hours before. 3 hours I've turned up for, and the guy Jesse, he's literally spent the entire session with me, running through every single routine. He's been spotting me, he's been loading up my weights for me. I don't even have to load the weights. He's doing everything. He's giving me as much guidance as he possibly can for 800 pesos. Okay, you're already in the gym anyway, so that's 1,000, so discard that. But for 800 pesos, this guy will teach you everything that you need to know. Okay, and I'm sure that you guys can find the same deal wherever you are as well, just maybe a different price. You can go swimming in the pool for 12 hours a day. I don't know whether I've uploaded the video yet or not, but you could literally go swimming in the pool 12 hours a day, so 8 until 8 they do here, and that's either 50 pesos for the whole day or 100, that's per person. Okay, so less than £1 or just over £1, depending on which location you go to, which resort. It's super cheap. You can't do that in the UK, man. You get like coloured bands, wristbands, you get like a couple of hours or something, and then you've got to do one, and it's cost you a tenner per person. So yeah, very, very different here. What have I got on my list? Branded tank tops, FUBU, one of my favourites for being here. FUBU tank tops, less than £5 each one. They are the branded ones. You walk around in this here and people go, ooh, it's branded. It's less than £5. Jackets, I've got a Jag jacket, and Jag is a nice brand here. Really, really nice jacket. Like, what do you call it? It's not varsity, that's not the right word. Not jersey. Can't remember what you call it. I'll do another video on that, but really, really nice jacket. It's like a bomber jacket, but slim fit, not the big poofy kind. Yeah. That was about £40 at the time when I bought that one. Branded trainers, so like Adidas Samba trainers, 25 quid, about 25 quid. What else we got? Right, okay, so computers, TVs, electricals, refrigerators, stuff like that. They are about on par with the UK price. I don't know about USA prices. I'm sure you guys get some massive deals in like your Walmart or whatever you have over there. But yeah, I bought, just to relate it to the UK, I bought a 55-inch TV. It cost me, sorry, I think it was about £500, £450 to £500, not long ago, about 2 years ago now. For the exact same one here, but yeah, 55-inch, but the latest model, which is only a year-old model, so it's newer than the one that I bought. It's like £350 to £400. And that included, no it didn't. I was going to say that included the sound bar, but it didn't. It was extra for the sound bar. But I think I get the sound bar and sound system, little 5-to-1 speakers, and a sound bar and the TV for the same price that I paid for the TV in the UK. However, some things are a bit more expensive, like the refrigerator here costs me more. It's only about 50 quid or 80 quid more than the one in the UK. But to be fair, I prefer the brand here. It's Samsung, so expected for me to pay a little bit extra on that one. But bear it in mind, laptops and computers and stuff like that seem to be more expensive here. Bear that in mind. If you can bring something here, try not to bring too many electrical goods, they will get seized if you're not careful. But yeah, try to get something in advance. What else have we got? Okay, if you have kids now, we've done a little bit of inquiring around here. There's a really good little nursery. We were thinking of sending Joshua there. It's only 1.5 hours per day. It's just like a little kind of kids gathering. They teach the kids things like colouring and counting and just social group with the other little kids in the area. That's 18,000 pesos for the year. The entire year. You might think, oh, that sounds expensive. It's not. It's 714. It's like 250 quid for the entire year. That's everything included. That's like books, little uniform or whatever. That's miscellaneous. They like to use the word miscellaneous here. Get used to that. Miscellaneous. That's admin fees. That's enrollment. That's everything. 18,000 for the whole year. But that's, yeah, as I said, that's 1.5 hours per day, every day for term time only. And that is expensive because if you relate it to high school costs, so what do you guys call it here? We call it first school, middle school and high school in the UK, or first primary school and secondary school. Here it is elementary and I can't remember what it's called, elementary and secondary or whatever, you know what I mean, the higher school, the higher tier school, so like 13-year-old, 12-year-old and above, up to like 18 or 20 or however much they do here, but that is only 1,000 pesos for the whole year. That's like 13 to 15 quid for the whole year. So, cheap. That's not private, okay? That is community school or whatever you want to call it. The government school, where there's like 5,000 students, they all pile into the one school. It's about between 30 to 50 students in a class. It's 1,000 pesos for the year. So that is a nice price there. You do have to pay additional costs for what they call projects. So if the kids get a project cost, and it's a project set for them, for example, like you need to go home and you need to create a folder of like animals and whatever, regions throughout the world or different weather patterns and whatever, you know what I'm trying to say, a project. And they need to buy different coloured paper, they need to buy rebond and all these like A3 pages and stuff. That is not included within the 1,000. They do have to buy their own project materials and everything else. So I mean, it's normally just 100 pesos or a couple of 100 pesos per project, but they do add up throughout the year. So I mean, you're probably looking at an additional 2,000 to 3,000 pesos throughout the whole year just on projects. None of this includes food, by the way. Obviously, food is extra. What else have I got on my list? I'm going to try and wrap this up soon, guys, so you're not too bored by now. But if you want to buy a birthday cake, which has personalised writing on in what you call it, yeah, I was going to say embroidery, but that's clothing. But yeah, you know, icing writing, whatever you want to call it, it's between 350 to 400 pesos, and that is a big cake, 15 people. I bought for my wife's 21st birthday at the time. I bought 3 of the buggers. We got 3 different cakes, and I was like, oh, that's a bargain, man. It's like £15 for 3 cakes. So yeah, why not? I just got greedy. We just bought 3 of them. So yeah, 15 people for about £5 to £6. Bargain. If you want to buy 1 litre of strong lager here, well, decent lager, it's 6.9% proof. Red Horse is called 1 litre, that's 120 pesos, that's about £1.20p or something like that. You get smashed on just a few. You don't be an alcoholic out here, guys, you'll just get yourself in trouble, trust me. 1 litre of rum, Tanduay rum, which is between 60 to 80 proof. Knock your ass off. Same price, it's 120 pesos. So for the same price as you buy 1 lager for 6.9%, you buy a 60 to 80 proof big bottle of rum and you just be legless. yeah, so with all of these things in mind, absolutely everything, guys, I'm not going to go through any more on this video because I'm sure you're bored to tears or you're involved and you're listening to me, so give us a message down below which one you are. But sorry if there's noise in the background, by the way, the wind's really picking up all of a sudden. I've got a tree rustling right here. But with all of these things in mind, I hope that you can kind of start to establish what kind of lifestyle you're going to be choosing, how you're going to be living here, the locations that you're going to be living in, the types of hobbies and leisurely activities and luxuries that you're going to be choosing to do. All of these things have massive impact on your monthly budget, so try to keep those costs lower down if you don't have amazing income streams, if your pension's a little bit lower because you don't have private pensions, you're just living off a government pension. So bear all of these things in mind, guys, and let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, please do, help us out a bit. But please let me know in the comments below what your budget you think is going to be. Don't stress out on it, don't panic too much, don't like sit there trying to calculate everything in Excel or all this stuff. Just note a couple of things down, the main things. Put like a nice healthy sum on there for your food. Don't try and skimp out on your food, guys, because you'll just be miserable. But yeah, let us know what your budget's going to be, what you think it's going to be, what it currently is if you do currently live out here. If you have a budget, I don't know my budget. It's quite a decent position to be in, and also quite a scary one. I haven't put pen to paper because I don't like looking at all the numbers. I don't like scaring myself. I see the money coming out of my bank when I send it to Western Union. That's good enough for me. And just like, ooh, calm down a bit. Let's slow down a bit this month. So yeah, that's how I like to live anyway. But let us know where you think you'll be, and if you're planning to head out here. Let us know, guys. Anyway, if you're here this far, thank you very, very much for sticking with it. I hope it's helped out in some way. If you haven't already, please smack subscribe, help the channel out. We're so itty bitty, we're such a small channel. We're new here, guys, so let us settle in, and I hope I can help out in the future. If you have any other ideas for videos that you'd like to see, any more help with stuff, I'm sure I can be a wealth of knowledge, although I've not been here for 60 plus years. So right, guys, take care, enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your morning, or wherever it is, whatever it is rather, wherever you are. Take care, guys. Bye bye now.